Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my final team selection ahead of the Game Week 17 deadline tomorrow. So if you are excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 35 likes today. Leave a comment, what is your team looking like going into tomorrow's deadline? What transfers are you making? Subscribe if you're brand new. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, as always, with my team selection videos, we just do a quick recap of my previous game week score. It wasn't too bad. It was a green arrow. I came out with 71 points. It was a small green arrow, though. It started off really well, and then the Maddison and Gallagher points kind of pushed me a little bit further down the table, which wasn't great. But De Gea, of course, I took a -4 hit to take Sanchez out to bring in the United keeper, and he came out with 10 points. So, very happy with that decision. Sanchez wouldn't have played regardless. So that was just, for me, it was just a smart move, because even if De Gea had just conceded one goal and that was it, he would have just still come out with 2 points. So it would have just been a -2. But the fact that he came out with a big fat 10 points, I was very happy with that. And now I have him for all of the upcoming fixtures, all those nice green fixtures. Very happy to say the least. Coming up, we had James coming in with the 0 points. Again, just since I brought him in, man, this guy just, I feel like he knows that I brought him in. He's like, I'm not going to perform at all now. So yeah, another 0. People are now thinking of selling him. I completely understand, but I think he's still worth holding at this point in time. I think he's going to come good again. Rudiger getting me 9 points. Very out of the blue. You know, as soon as Chelsea conceded, I was like, well, that's my double Chelsea clean sheet gone. Maybe Reece James can get an attacking return or something, but Rudiger doesn't usually do anything once you concede. But he got 2 penalties. I mean, whether they were penalties or not, I mean, it's up for a debate, but at the end of the day, he got me 9 points, which I was very happy about. And as well as that, Trent also getting me 9 points as well. Really nice from those two. And then Cancelo getting the 7 points. Again, picked up a yellow card, though, meaning he's suspended from the next game week. But of course, probably would have got like a 9 as well, actually, if it wasn't for that yellow card. But, you know, I was happy with that. 9, and 7, and 10 from my keeper. If Reece James got like a 7 or something, it would have been absolutely fantastic. But I'm pretty content with what my defense got in game week 16. In midfield, though, Jota came on for a 1-point cameo. Not great. Salah scoring the penalty, got him 16 points. Again, has only not returned in like 1 game this year, which is just bonkers. It's absolutely mad. People still don't have him in his team, and I just don't understand. Bernardo got me 6 points. I brought him in this week for Rafinha. It actually wasn't a good idea, because Rafinha got 7 points and Bernardo only got 6. So yeah, that did cost me a point, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I do have Bernardo for the upcoming fixtures, and Rafinha still has some really awful fixtures coming up, the likes of Liverpool. Well, not Liverpool, but Liverpool is coming up actually, but just not for a few weeks yet. Also has like Chelsea and not Chelsea, City. Jesus, is not great for Rafinha at the moment. But again, I'll probably bring him back in after that horrible fixture run ends. And then Mbumo getting me 9 points, finally scoring a goal. He got an assist last time, and now he's getting a goal. He's actually returning. I mean, he has United next, but I'm just happy that he's finally started returning some points. Sissoko came off my bench for Vardy. He didn't feature, got me 2 points. And then Antonio doing what he does best at the moment. Mr. 2-pointer is honestly what I should probably start calling him. And then my bench, I mean, Steele didn't obviously play. Vardy got nothing. Livramento got 1, and then Lockeday didn't play as well because the Brighton game was called off. So 71 points. Well, technically 67 with the -4. Was a green arrow, but yeah, started off really well. Especially Friday night where Mbumo got me 9. I was like, oh my god, this is actually a decent game week. And then it carried on going well, and then yeah, sort of Sunday really did not do me justice, because I was really going into Sunday, I was like, okay, I've got Antonio and Vardy to play. Vardy's at home to Newcastle, can see some big points there, and hopefully Antonio finishes his goal drought by actually scoring. It's literally the worst case scenario. Vardy didn't play, Antonio didn't score. So yeah, it was really unfortunate. But on another day, Vardy plays that game and gets like 2 goals instead of, you know, Tielemans or something, because obviously they got a penalty and everything. But it is what it is. It happens. 71 points, 67 technically. We move. Next up, going over my team preview for game week 17. It's a tough one, man. It is a tough game week to think about. There's a lot of COVID scares coming out of different camps. Tottenham have had another fresh case of the starting 11 having a COVID scare, and also it's like all over the under 23s as well, so not great for Tottenham. That might be calling off the next game as well with Leicester. We then have a small outbreak at United. We have a small outbreak at Villa. So we'll have to stay and hope for positive news about that, because at the end of the day, okay, FPL is one thing, but having football being called off during like pandemics and stuff is really, really unfortunate, because it just makes my weekends dead, man. I get nothing to look forward to. So yeah, really, really hoping that it doesn't get called off. I think what will happen is just that stadiums obviously just stop allowing people in, but it is what it is. Anyway, coming in at goal, we have De Gea, Brentford away. Again, whether we get a clean sheet in that game or not, I'm not too sure. Brentford looked pretty good, to be fair, against Watford. Was unlucky not to score more. Norwich nearly scored like 3, I'm gonna say, against United. De Gea really played out his skin to stop that ball going in the back of the net. But yeah, whether they'll do the same against Brentford, we're not too sure. Tony might be back. I think the Brentford manager said that the lack of match fitness might be a problem, but he doesn't know whether to start him or bring him off the bench. So he's definitely going to get game time against United. We just don't know if he's going to start or not. But yeah, De Gea, Brentford away. We'll see what happens there. At the back line, we have Trent, Rudiger, James, and Livramento. Trent at home to Newcastle, expecting easy clean sheet there and hopefully some attacking returns. Everton at home, I mean, they looked poor against Crystal Palace. I'm hoping that double Chelsea actually pays off. They both play, fingers crossed, and we do finally get some points for having both of the Chelsea defenders. Because I think I will be getting rid of Rudiger soon for Diaz, because I don't want to have double Chelsea defense going into like that double blank game week that Rudiger and James would obviously be having later on down the line. I think it's game week 20, game week 23, game week 24, I do believe. It is. No, 24 and 25, they just don't play. So I don't want 2 Chelsea players for that. And then Livramento away at Crystal Palace. Again, I'm playing him just simply because Cancelo is banned from the next game. I wouldn't be playing Livramento away at Crystal Palace. I'm not expecting anything there at all. Probably a 1 or a 2 pointer, maybe even a 0, but it is what it is. I can't really be taking a transfer to take Cancelo or anything like that, because he's too important in my team. So yeah, that's kind of the back 4 and my goalkeeper. In midfield, we have Mbeumo, Bernardo, Salah captain, and Jota. So Salah and Jota both are home to Newcastle again. I'm expecting that to be a cricket score. Big points on the table for the Liverpool players. So yeah, hopefully we can get some nice returns there. All 3 of them hopefully will be returning. We'll see what happens. And of course, Salah captain at home to Newcastle is an incredible fixture, arguably the best fixture of the season at this point in time, because Newcastle are just so bad at the moment, and Norwich have actually kind of stepped their game up a little bit. A lot better at the back since Dean Smith came in, but we'll see what happens in that game. And then Bernardo at home to Leeds. Really hope he starts this game, but I'm a little bit worried that he won't. He did, I'm pretty sure, play the full 90 in the last game. Gundogan came off early, but of course that was because of an injury. That wasn't because of like match fitness or anything. De Bruyne came on, Foden came on. I think Grealish went off. Like, all these different players going on and off. Like, it's difficult to kind of call with Pep Roulette. I might be going into the game week with 10 players. We'll have to wait and see. You know, if Reece James doesn't play or Bernardo doesn't play. You know, I've only got Sissoko on the bench to come on because of the Cancelo yellow card, but we'll see what happens. I also have to play Mbeumo as well at home to United. Again, it would what I originally would have done is probably just not have played Mbeumo and would have just had 5 at the back of Trent, Rudiger, James, Livramento, and Cancelo. But because of the Cancelo yellow card, I'll have to play Mbeumo now. You never know. I mean, I don't like playing and attacking a player against a defending player. In this case, Mbeumo against De Gea. But at the end of the day, I mean, maybe Mbeumo just gets a bunch of returns. I don't know. He seems to be doing it every week now, so hopefully he does get something. But yeah, that's my midfield. And then up front, I have Antonio, and I've also brought in Watkins. I've done an early transfer. I always say there's so much, don't do early transfers, especially now with all this COVID updates and stuff like that. So I'm hoping the press conferences aren't too bad today, and hopefully the Watkins is fine and everything like that. But I had to do it because Vardy was going to have a price drop, Watkins was going to have a price rise, and that's a 0.2 difference. And also to do my transfer plan in the future, I can't really be dropping 0.2, and I knew that was going to happen. I'm not too worried about it because obviously the deadline is tomorrow. So it's not like, I mean, I have made an early transfer, but it's not like a normal game week where you make a transfer on Monday and then anything can happen. Like, I would never make an early transfer if you've got like Champions League and Europa League and all that stuff in the game week. But this is just such a quick turnaround. That's why I've done it. So yeah, Antonio, Watkins, and then the bench is just Steele, Sissoko, Locadere, and then Cancelo, who is unable to play. So yeah, I really only have one sub. So if Bernardo doesn't play or James doesn't play, or any of this, then Antonio might not even play either. He is an injury risk, and so playing that often could come back to hurt him. So yeah, I might well be going into this game week with like 10 players. Again, if the United game gets called off, then I lose 2 players there. Obviously, if the Villa game gets called off, I lose a player there. So it honestly could be free hit territory. We'll have to see what happens. And if it is free hit territory, then it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because I'd probably bring in Diaz, and I'd probably bring in maybe Ronaldo or something. We'll have to wait and see. I'll probably bring in Ramsdale. Either way, though, that is my team for game week 17. Let's go on to some transfers that I'm thinking of making. So here we have my normal team here. I have a lot of money in the bank now, 3.4 mil to mess around with. So what I'm going to do next week is either bring in Dennis for Locadia, or I'm going to be bringing in Diaz for Rudiger, because I really, really want to hit that Newcastle fixture with Triple City. And I think Bernardo will hopefully play. I mean, Cancelo will definitely play that, and I think Diaz will play as well. I'm obviously going to wait to see what happens in the fixture against Leeds, and see if Diaz misses that, then he's definitely going to play. And of course, if Bernardo misses that, he's definitely going to play against Newcastle. And I definitely want to triple up on Newcastle, against Newcastle, should I say. So yeah, I could be taking Rudiger out for Diaz, and Rudiger might get a price rise as well. A lot of people are bringing him since his 9-point haul at the weekend. So we'll have to see what happens there. So yeah, I could easily be bringing in Diaz this week, or I could be taking out Locadia and bringing in Dennis or King. So let's just say I bring in Dennis for the next game week, who would have Crystal Palace. He'll have Crystal Palace at home, which is a nice little fixture. Gives me 2 mil in the bank still. And then the only problem with that is if I wanted to bring in Diaz, then he'd have Leicester, which again isn't the best fixture. Like, I'm still expecting a clean sheet in that fixture, but it's not something that I'd really bring in a player for. And then he has Brentford, but then he has Arsenal and Chelsea. So I don't think I would bring in Diaz until all these games are done, and then he has Southampton, Brentford, Norwich. I think I'd rather bring him in for these here. And again, I kind of want to go up on double City like now, instead of later on, just because there's a lot of green fixtures. Like, if I bring him in next week, I'll have him for Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford. Okay, Arsenal, Chelsea, not great, but then I've still got him for Southampton, Brentford, Norwich. So that's really, really nice. Whereas if I didn't bring him in next week, I probably wouldn't bring him in until like after the Arsenal and Chelsea game. So yeah, I also do need to get rid of Mbumo as well. Like, I don't mind keeping him for United, Southampton, then Brighton, but then for City, I'm probably going to get rid of him, because after that, the fixtures aren't great. Like, he has City, Villa, Liverpool, Wolves, and then City again, which is not great at all. So I'm definitely not going to be keeping hold of them. And then I'll probably bring in Tony or something around here for maybe Antonio or something. But yeah, I'll probably just upgrade Mbumo to the likes of Gallagher or someone like that. So obviously I'll bring in Diaz at some point. If I bring him in this week, then the week after I would bring in Dennis, who would obviously have Wolves away. And then I'd still have Mbumo for Brighton. And then I would probably bring in, I'd take out Mbumo. I'd have 7.4 mil in the bank, which, I mean, I could bring in anyone for that. So yeah, I mean, I kind of also want to bring in Sanchez as well to target like the double Brighton fixtures, but we'll have to see what happens there. But either way, I'll have to think about who I'm bringing in that midfield spot. It'll probably be Gallagher, but then I'd have so much money in the bank. But I guess it's nice to have money in the bank. Like, I'd have 1.3 to play around with if I ever need any adjustments or anything. But yeah, maybe something like this is what we're looking at. But either way, though, that is going to be everything for my team selection video for Game Week 17. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know what your team's looking like. And until next time, peace.